Topical issue. Today's topical issue is the soul in a living entity. In the universe, many things are seen as living entities. These to some are animals and plants, and others, even the inanimate things, are envisaged as living things. Minerals, things like rocks, things like others see them as living things, depending from what perspective and souls. I'm referring to the religions of the world and what they say, the traditions of the world and what they tell. A soul has had many meanings in the way people term it. Some say that in a being there is an entity that is enclosed in a body, and it is called a soul. There has been many reflections of entities in varied visitations. People in the Eastern religions have seen and learned that enlightened souls revisit different generations in different dispensations. Look at Lord Ganesha in the Vedas, or God of Fortune. Look at Lord Krishna, and look at Gautama or the Buddha. Their spiritual outlook is similar. They all dealt with the ethical values of the societies involved. They all performed miracles or acts that appear magical in nature. The story of Ganesha, Krishna, Buddha, and their last visitations in the same prescribed God with us as envisaged in the Christian faith all bear similarities. Look at Buddha. It said he could walk on water. He could multiply things like bread. Look at Jesus. He could walk on water, multiply. So all those things you find commonalities. And you look at Krishna. An equivalent to the Christian Emmanuel. God with us. God with us. You know, sometimes I always look at Krishna and see a small alterance between the last names. This is Jesus Christ. The other one is Krishna. Christ, Krishna, almost something, a similarity. But you find the meaning, God with us. God with us. Here, in the African context, I don't know if the Asian context is the same. A hare is seen as a very clever animal. God, the utmost, is the total intelligence in existence. Can you see? They say here Krishna, intelligence. But that is my own thinking from I don't say that that's exactly what it means. But as I perceive, they share almost a similar wording, but the meaning is the same. God with us. And they have an attachment in a strong force. The power that controls the universe, God. All of them call us to believe in God in a positive, ethical, social, and political manner. That's what the stories tell. That's what their visitations tell. doing comparative education, I looked at different happenings. The description of Elijah, and then now getting to John, where the New Testament says that many people say, and the way it's written, John was a reincarnation of Elijah. And this is a thing we have been running away from. John, a reincarnation of Elijah. That means that soul has traveled in different visitations and arrived there in the form of John. Jesus talking of a visitation, meaning that there have been visitations, and that was his visitation. So Christ was making that visitation. And that's why in the Bible they say he was from God and all those things that were being said. So a visitation from, that's why many Christians refer to Jesus as God. A visitation. A movement of the soul from the eternity to the living and back to eternity. There's also this Krishna as a reincarnation of, I think, Lord Vishnu. So you see a visitation, a reincarnation. This has made me believe that God has visited different people at different times to enhance spiritual, ethical, and social systems. The souls of other lesser entities go through upgrade process to attain the topmost merger, or as the Eastern religions call, as attain a state of nirvana. The Christians call that heaven, and so do Muslims. Merging with the soul of the universe. Settling in a place where there's no disturbance, nothing, no feelings of whatever. You are in eternal peace. This is judged by deeds and faith in the Abrahamic religions and even others. In the Hindu religions, they say the way you live your life is the way you are reborn in the other life. In the Abrahamic religion, the way you live and relate to God determines your eternal suffering or eternal peace and happiness. There are other entities that are inanimate, and there are others that are stagnated. They are moving, they are living, they are growing, but they don't move from a place. Some plants occupy two stages combined. Stagnated in a place, cannot be able to move, but have some parts of it that can be able to perform the activities of a mobile entity. This one can be in plants like pitcher plant or the Venus flytrapper. This is a plant photosynthesizing as a plant. So it's a stagnated soul in one place, but has got mechanism that almost put it again on the animated platform. It can trap, it can catch, it can digest insects and small animals. It is a plant. So it's a soul that is caught within the two, exchanging from one stage to an animated entity. He looked at animals and the way they appear, I've looked at animals like dogs. Dogs appear to be having a lot of intelligence, though we used to say that those animals act on instincts. But there are some things that some dogs have done, some horses have done, some animals have done that make you know there are some things they do, they are beyond extincts. There is that intelligence. So there is a movement within the process to attain the total utmost merger with the same creator that programmed the very beginning. So as I have been going through this, doing comparative religion and soul searching, this thought, this feeling, this knowledge of soul being the programmed entities, be it minerals, be it what, moving through different stages to attain the total merger with the creator intelligence, with the creator force, is what I call a soul. So a soul is a programmed entity by the Almighty God through the journey, the hurdles, the processes, the movements in stages to attain the topmost merger with the soul of the universe, the Godhead. That is what I have come to realize, and I've come to look at souls being. But there are other souls that we may not be able to relate with in other stages, other forms that God has created. So that is my description of a soul. That is the vision of a soul that has come to me through soul searching and exchanging of those ideas across through the customs, through the religions, that a soul is a mobile entity traversing through different stages to attain the purest stage, which is the stage of merger with the creator force. That is my take. That is my understanding for now. It may be different from yours, but from the way I've envisioned those things, meditated, and it has been open to me. That is my vision of a soul, what a soul is. I beg to terminate there. In case of any additions, you can also air yours, do an addition to that. But that is the vision I have of what a soul is. Thank you.